Digimon. It's Digitime again.
Alright, you ready?
Leomon freaking dies.
Of course, he doesn't even last a single movie.
It's like, I say that, oh yeah, Leomon dies every single time, just expect him to die. I mean, whoever makes Digimon, I'm kind of joking.
Yeah.
Subvert my expectations at least once, come on.
Alright, turned you up a little bit. You might be a bit louder now.
Yeah, I thought I sounded kind of quiet.
Yeah, that should be fine. That should be alright. Alright, say something real quick.
Yo.
Okay, yeah, that seems about right. So yeah, Leomon freaking dies.
Leomon freaking dies. Ugh. It's so stupid how it happens, too.
Man, like, it must be rough to be a Leomon fan.
Yeah.
Cause you...
it's the Leomon. It's the Leomon we know from Digimon Adventure 1, who died before, too.
Yeah, he came back.
It's rough being Leomon.
It's Rex. Like, is this the cruelest Leomon death so far?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Because he dies to someone he thought was a friend. Like, so I didn't even think about that fact, that this is the same exact Leomon that died in the original series.
Oh,
it's the
man.
same one.
Yeah. It's the same Leomon.
You think that after all this, Leomon would be like, I'm never associating with these kids ever again.
These kids are nothing but... Nah, Leomon's too good of a guy for that.
Yeah, he is.
Man. So yeah, before we get into things, like, I do want to briefly mention, I watched season 3 of Baki.
Oh, excuse me.
But screw that, because my house nearly burned down. Yeah, so turns out, like, when you have guests over, it's like, oh yeah, you shove, like, the, like, unwashed dishes into the oven, right? Like,
is this a Baki thing?
No, this happened.
Oh.
Like, do you do that?
No.
Well, yeah, it's like guest came over, it's like, alright, gotta like shove all the dishes into the oven, cause like, don't have time to wash everything, so it's gotta like, just shove the dishes away so they're out of sight.
Oh, you've seen my dirty house. No, I don't do that. My dirty apartment, rather.
So yeah, like, dishes are like in the oven. Turns out some of them are made of plastic.
Yeah.
Grandma goes to like make a corn dog and heat it up.
Oh no.
Effing, like, it melts through the effing like oven grate and there's just a flaming lump of plastic in like the bottom of the oven tray as it just like, melts out and spreads everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's Lukor, it's like, oh yeah, like, is the kettle meant to be smoking like that? And he checked out, it's like, oh yeah, I think like fire. Oh shit.
The oven's on fire, great.
So yeah. Like, it's sort of like, fire extinguisher, like one blast, takes care of it pretty easily.
I'm glad that it sounds like that's as bad as it got.
Yeah.
Ugh,
like,
must have been a pain to clean out the oven, though.
Oh yeah, we're still cleaning it out. This is like an event in progress, technically.
When did this happen?
Like, just a few hours ago. I want to say, like, 1 this morning. Yeah. like an hour or two ago, basically.
Wow.
So I was sitting there like, oh man, like, should, like, I don't think the fire department's gonna come. I don't think, like, smoke alarms just send a signal out or something.
No. If the fire's out, there's no reason to
Yeah.
call the fire department.
Yeah, there was a moment where I was just sitting there like, I don't know, should I, like, mention that, like, the stream might be held off a bit? Because my house nearly burned down.
We're getting to it sooner than we usually do.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get delayed until like 3.
Jeez, yeah. Well, I guess that's fine.
Well, fortunately, even if your place did catch fire, you live really close to a fire department.
Yeah. So hopefully that won't be much of an issue.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, how many things do we have that could really burn anyways?
You got a wooden floor, don't you?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like your cabinets, the floor. And,
That's
yeah,
actually pretty bad.
yeah. But everything's fine from the sounds of it. So
Yeah.
that's good.
So, yeah. Effing, like, Digimon Tri Movie 2. Holy crap. Like...
well, you, last week you said you watched all of, Brand New Animal, right?
Yeah.
Alright, I watched all of it, too.
Oh, holy crap.
It ended a lot sooner than I expected it to.
Yeah, like, apparently
12
there's...
episodes.
Sorry, apparently there's, like, a season 2 in the works.
Oh, I'm sure. There's no way they'd leave it off. Like, they left it off on a major cliffhanger. Well, no, they
Well, yeah.
They left it off in a way that it's like, yeah, there could be more of the story.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, like...
I didn't hate it. It's really nice. Like, visually, it's nice.
Yeah, like, the final episode just has, like, so much good directing. Like, so many good, like, you know, just shots and, like, you know, just framing of, like, things, like, main dude's, like, talking about, it's like, yeah, like, you know, you'll, like, pay the wrath of, like, you know, the blow of, like, 1,000 wolves or whatever, you're, like, you see, like, the shadows of his tribe just, like, you know, like, coming off of him.
Yeah, the fight between Shiro and Alan is pretty rad. A lot of moments of will you people just talk to each other?
Yeah.
Kind of like this part 2 of the Digimon movies. Holy crap! People talk to each other. I'm going to lose my freaking mind.
I never thought I'd be saying the words edgy Joe before.
Oh my god. Ah! I get where he's coming from. I completely get it. It's like, but...
Before we go on, do we have, like, more to say about Brand New Animal?
Why do the non-wolf beastmen howl in response to Shiro?
No idea. It doesn't really make sense, but screw it.
Because that's all I could think of during that scene. It's like, oh yeah, it'd be a great moment if other animals howled in response to wolves.
Man. Like, Beth Ann came over while, like, I was watching the finale of that, and I'm like, well, I'm invested, so I don't want to turn this off. And all I could think was like, oh, this is the most, like, effing teen OC show ever. Got effing, like, idle wolf girls just flying around with, like, angel wings. And it's like, oh shit.
Singing a J-pop song.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Oh man. Hey, at least it's followed up by a bunch of action.
Oh man. Like, gee, like, it's so weird because, like, I'm coming to this off of, like, you know, Little Witch Academia is, I think, like, the last, you know, big trigger show I finished.
I haven't watched that one yet, so no spoilers.
I will say, like, it also has a climax based around a premise of, like, oh, this event happening makes everyone angry and the negative energy, blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
Except it's done, like, way better.
I don't think I've heard anything specific, but I've heard that there's something in Little Witch Academia that people aren't crazy about.
Yeah, like, the big complaint is that, like, in the second season, which is, like, the second half of the show, it's like, you know, all the side characters kind of fall by the wayside for Akko.
Okay.
Yeah,
Main character privilege.
yeah, and everyone's like, no, but Susie's great, though.
Susie's the... I mean, I've watched, like, episode 1, and the original pilot that came out. But yeah, Susie's the best.
Man, you need to like watch that show at some point because it's dubbed on Netflix. And
yeah, I plan on it.
There's just the entire episode. It's just the Susie episode.
Oh, good. I need to try and force myself to stay awake all day, anyways. So maybe I'll just binge watch it.
Yeah. Well, if you have nothing else going on, then like screw it. Why not? Right?
Yeah. I like the baseball episode.
Yeah, Brave New Animal. Sorry, Brand New
BNA.
Animal. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fun episode.
Yeah. I feel like most of my complaints about Brand New Animal are like, you know, in just the plot and just how things progress, right?
Yeah, I think my main complaint is how often Michiru goes from being friends with her childhood friend to being her enemy to being her friend again.
Yeah.
And it's like, will you stop and talk to each other about this?
I feel like there's one big change that will have, like, you know, helped the series immensely, and that's like, oh yeah, have her friend be kind of like rude and standoffish about things, right?
Cause like from the beginning.
Yeah, because then, you know, you'd have her like open up a bit, and it would be like, you know, oh hey, like she's kind of like the antagonist all of a sudden, right?
Yeah, because in the flashbacks with her, all we ever see is them being super friendly and like great towards each other, and then Michiru meets up with her later, and they're constantly at each other's throats, and everybody, and like Michiru goes in. I forgot what her friend's name was. But Fox Girl gets Nazuna?
Yeah, Nazuna, yeah. And Nazuna slash Celeste de Lunar, whatever the crap.
Yeah, I'm gonna call her by her actual name. Nazuna is seen by Michiru getting into a van with some mysterious dudes who look like the same guys who originally kidnapped her, quote-unquote kidnapped her.
Yeah.
And so Michiru rightfully freaks out and goes and chases down the van to help her, and ends up in the medical facility where she's going under some kind of treatment, or like they're scanning her DNA or something. I don't know what the machine does. But she's in a machine, and Michiru starts tearing it apart. And Nazuna, instead of going, wait, don't, I'm not, like, nothing's wrong, she just said, she's just like, Michiru! And Michiru's just like, I'm gonna tear this thing apart.
That'd probably be the point to be like, no, don't do it.
Yeah, Nazuna doesn't try to stop her at all. Granted, she's being used by Alan, because Alan's a scumbag, evil douchebag that they let get away in the end.
Yeah.
I think that's the worst part of it, is like Alan is Beastman Hitler. Like,
yeah.
They let him go.
Like,
and I get why. It's stupid, but I get why. It's because Shiro does this thing throughout the series where it's like, oh no, don't kill me or whatever, and it's like, nah, I'm gonna punch you.
Yeah.
Like,
He's like, you're not even worth my claws.
Yeah, I'm just gonna beat you. I'm just gonna beat the crap out of you with my fists. And it's like, okay, cool gesture. And also he's trying not to, like, Michiru is like terrified that he's gonna like kill him. But it's like, this guy's gotta go.
Yeah, this guy's kind of a big problem right now.
This dude rolls out murder machines into the streets to shoot. Okay, they're not murder machines. They're just trying to like get rid of the Beastmen transformation thing.
Yeah, this feels like, well, I almost say like the worst version. It's like, well, one of the worst versions the like X-Men storyline could like turn into, where it's like, oh yeah, stuff is going super south, and they're just rolling out robots to just inject people with like mutant curing drugs.
Yeah, and Alan's motivation goes from, or seemingly his motivation goes from, Beastmen are filthy and I hate them because I'm a human, to I'm a pure-blooded Beastman and all of you are mutts and I gotta have the pure blood master race continue.
Yeah. I actually
like,
wonder, like, if you look back, does he just say, like, oh, these Beastmen are filthy, or is he like, oh, all Beastmen are filthy, right?
I watched the dub, so what I got from it was, like, any Beastman that's not pure-blooded like him was a filthy mutt.
Yeah. I mean, like, before that, like, twist happens, like, yeah.
He never explicitly comes out and says, like, oh, Beastmen are filthy or whatever, or, like, they gotta be purged or whatever. He's constantly under the... Up until we learn he's a Beastman, he's constantly like, I'm doing this to save Beastmen from themselves so they don't go wild and kill each other.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And he starts going wild.
Yeah.
Man, like, I think of all the events to kickstart this, like, pop idol concert liar reveal. Like,
I appreciate that when Michiru gets in the giant silver wolf mech thing and walks up to Nazuna and is like, hey, don't do the reveal thing. It'll be real bad. I appreciate that Nazuna goes with it and just trusts that Michiru knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, just as the good save.
Yeah. But then the dude who's as creepy as Michiru warns about comes out and he's like, no, I'll do it. I'll be the bad guy.
Like, was there ever explanation for why he wanted this to happen in the first place?
He's working for Alan, I guess.
I don't know if they ever, like, confirmed that, because, like, he finds, like, Nausicaa in the street, and he's like, now we can be together forever, and he turns into a weird snake monster.
Yeah, I'm sitting here wondering, what the heck is he supposed to be? Boris, that's his name. If you're a snake man, does that mean you can turn into multiple snakes?
Maybe it's because he's going berserk or whatever.
Maybe, but like when you first see, do snakes like blink sideways? Do snakes blink at all?
I think they do have like a sideways eye covering on some of them.
Okay, because he does that like when Michiru first meets him, and it's like, oh yeah, this dude's creepy.
Yeah, like he does it in his human form, which is weird as crap. I don't know, maybe he is like a weird, like, experiment mutant or something, like Alan just messed with his genes or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he's like a weird super hyper snake.
Maybe. But yeah, he bursts out of human form into his transformation, and it looks like he's like shooting tentacles at Nazuna, and I'm like, oh god, no. And it's like, oh, they're snakes. Oh, thank god. It's only slightly less creepy, but
this is someone's fetish somewhere,
Definitely.
Effing snake man shooting tendrils at like effing teenage wolf girl.
Speaking of somebody's fetish, how often is Michiru tied up or restrained?
I don't remember it happening that often, but probably a good few times.
It happens quite a lot. Like there's the second episode. She's not really tied up or restrained, but she is thrown in a cage.
Yeah.
There's the time when, because this is something I started to notice. I'm just like, wait, this keeps happening. And there's the one where she approaches the mob boss's daughter, and then she's caught and tied to a chair.
Oh yeah.
She gets restrained by those like electrified loop things.
Alright, that one kind of does make sense.
There's another time.
Because they're like animal catchers, right?
Sure, I'm just saying this
Yeah.
happens a lot. I know there's at least one other time, but I can't remember when it happened. She gets locked in a closet by Shiro.
Yeah, that's a thing. Like, the
But-
mayor's just over and she's just screaming, ah, no, let me out, he's a criminal or whatever. The mayor's just like, is something going on over there?
Yeah, Shiro is like, oh, it's nothing. And then Michiru screams louder. And he's just like, no, seriously, it's nothing. And the mayor's like, move the stuff.
Man.
I like the mayor. There's a moment in the beginning where it seems like she might be like evil or something.
Yeah, I was kind of like waiting for that turn, but like as it just went on, it never really happened.
It's like, oh, the mayor's cool after all. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
There's like a good person who cares about Beastmen who just happens to look super authoritarian.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing brought back what's her face, the weird mink girl.
Marie.
Yeah, Marie Weasel.
Marie Bink.
Man,
There's a weird moment in the dub where I think Michiru calls her Itachi, which is Japanese for weasel. And it's like okay, only like people who know that is gonna get the joke, but like I don't know, it's a weird joke to have.
Yeah, I don't remember that happening, but it has been a bit.
It happens. I remember it because I'm like Itachi. Oh,
Yeah, alright, yeah. Do you want to like quickly talk about epic like World War II?
Apparently, in this universe, in World War II, they're doing experiments on animal people.
It's like, oh, of course they would. Of course that'd be a thing.
Yeah, and the mayor is a Nazi prison camp survivor.
Yeah.
I don't think they outright say it's Nazis, but it's Nazis.
Yeah. Well, yeah, pretty much. Like, basically, yeah. Of
Yeah.
course
And
it'd be.
And Shiro, as the Silver Wolf, is just like, nah, none of that crap, and tears apart the prison camp.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna take care of this, like, right now.
Yeah. The edgy pretty boy who's 1,000 years old, Super Wolf.
And he's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna stop, like, using my powers now because World War II was too horrific.
Yeah. Shiro's cool.
Yeah. He's cool, but he's, like, such an OC, though.
Yeah, he's... he's, yeah.
Like... Yeah, here's the thing, because, like, Beastars didn't really, like, have this energy, right?
Oh, they're two very different shows.
Yeah, this is some hard effing, like, OC energy to these characters, and I dig it.
Yeah. Ironically enough, the cast of Beastars feels more human.
Yeah.
Legoshi's just a well-meaning, super socially awkward, scary-looking guy.
Yeah, and he's like, his whole thing is like, oh, I don't want to, like, seem too scary. Hard cut to, like, Shiro just punching dudes out like, you're not even worth my claws.
You've abandoned your pride as a beast, man, so I'll be taking these, and rips off his antlers.
Jeez.
And then he rips off the rhino guy's horn. It's like, holy crap.
Man.
I am glad that we got an explanation for why Shiro is so stupidly powerful.
Yeah, it's like, I was wondering that a bit. And it's like, oh, this is why. Because he just gets impaled, and he's like, okay, I'm fine.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Not only does he rip off the antlers, he then uses them as a weapon against one of the other guys.
Yeah.
I thought that scene was really cool, didn't I?
There's gonna be so much Beastars crossover fanfiction.
Oh, definitely.
Like, it's too easy. It's like, Ghost, he's like, well, I'll use my claws. And he's like, I'll teach you how to use your fists then.
So yeah, I like BNA. It's a fun show, if a bit stupid.
Yeah, I want to point out that the color palette's really great too, is like another positive.
Yeah, it's really colorful and like vibrant.
Yeah.
I will say one more thing about like a dumb thing, and it's that Michiru recorded Shiro howling, and that's how they find out that, oh yeah, if the other Beastmen hear Shiro's howl, then they're compelled to howl back.
Yeah, she just does it on a whim.
Yeah. Well, so she goes around and she's like playing the howling to other Beastmen and using her phone and everything. And then when they need to use it later, it's out of battery. Which there is no real reason for, because Shiro's right there, so it doesn't cause any problems.
Yeah, the reason is so they could get, like, Miona Mink or whatever her name is. To Mina Mink, whatever, to, like, operate the effing camera equipment.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, my phone's out of battery. Wait a minute, Shiro's right there.
Yeah, maybe we could do something. Maybe we would, like, signal, like, some kind of live stream broadcast. And it gets, like, 0 views.
I like the plan where Michiru's like, all right, Jackie, the kid on from the baseball team.
Yeah.
Like, she sends him and some other people, like, you go turn on all the TVs in the city.
Just all of them. Done.
Which is stupid, and like cuts to like a montage of them like sliding in and out of houses, turning TVs on.
Yeah.
The baseball team. I like the baseball team.
The baseball team's so fun. It's a big, like, ram kid who just gets his, like, life back on track because someone gave him a water filter. And he's like, oh, I could just scam people with, like, bottled water now. This is amazing.
Yeah, the members of the baseball team are poor to a hilarious degree.
He's like, hey, this one's on the house, Michiru, and she's like, I don't really wanna.
Yeah, like, Jackie is scooping garbage, scooping out water, and there's just garbage all in it, and he's filtering it. And who knows if the filter actually works.
I assume it works well enough.
I guess, but it could also be that they don't have a baseline for good water. So
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, it's better than it was.
It's a step up at least.
Like there's a later scene where Jackie is he's eating bread, and he's not calling it bread, he's just calling it the crusts. Because apparently he's only ever had bread crusts before.
Yeah.
He sees the white part of the bread and he's like, it's amazing, there's more crust. It's like, oh my god.
The white crust is really good, ain't it?
Also, baseball's a blood sport, and that's fun.
Yeah.
Like, Like there's
It's a blood sport where no one's ever been angry ever.
a flamingo whips out some knives and throws it into a dude. It's like, oh my god.
Oh man. Like that episode just starts up, Michiru's just like, oh yeah, I'll play some basketball, and they're just like, we don't have that around here. She's like, alright, I guess I'll do the next best thing then.
Well, the lady who owns the building is like, basketball, huh? And then it cuts to them sitting in the bleachers watching a baseball game, and she's like, "Well, you play both games with the ball, don't you? Good enough.
Yeah.
I gotta go."
Yeah, it's fine.
Also, I think I've got. Yeah, it was during the baseball episode where Michiru's using her transforming powers to do all this crazy stuff, and Shiro sees it. And when he talks to Michiru, he's like, "Didn't I tell you not to use your powers?" And I'm or like show off your powers in public. And I'm sitting there going, "No, you never told her that. not to the viewer, at least. If it happened off camera, it doesn't matter."
I feel like I vaguely do remember him saying something like, oh yeah, don't let people find out what you are or something.
Well, he means a human.
Yeah.
So how is transforming, like giving yourself bird wings and stuff, how is that giving off the impression like, oh, it's human?
No, it's not really giving off that impression, but it's like people might be like, oh, this girl's special or something, or like, like, this is, like, weird. Why does she have cheetah legs now? Why is that thing?
In Japanese mythology, tanukis can transform.
Yeah.
That's what was up with the whole the scene where Michiru has, like, the leaf on her head and she does, like, the backflip thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's her trying to do, like, a transformation.
Yeah. There's probably like something of the leaf thing that like ties to mythology that I just don't like, that's not like clicking for me right.
Well, Tanuki turn leaves into items.
Okay, alright, yeah.
That's why, I don't know how familiar you are with Animal Crossing, but that's why when you buy items from Tom Nook, it turns it into a leaf and puts it in your inventory. And then when you go to use it, you drop a leaf and it turns into the item.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I actually didn't know that.
Yep, that's why they're leaves.
Huh. So that's why it's like new leaf and stuff like that.
Well, that's just a play on words.
Yeah. Yeah, sure, why not?
Because it's the only game with leaf in the title that's not...
Yeah. All I really know about Animal Crossing is, like, effing Tom Nook and, like, how he's apparently not such a bad guy because he gives, like, half his money to charity.
Yeah, Tom Nook's not a bad guy at all.
Yeah, he's just very, like, straightforward and, like, honest with you to, like, a ridiculous extent.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, Tom Nook's a vicious loan shark and he'll break your kneecaps if you don't pay him back. When the reality is you blow into a town without a cent to your name, and he gives you a house anyways, gives you a job, and says, pay me back when you can.
Yeah, gives you a loan-free house, and he's like, yeah, just more gonna get to it.
Yeah. It's like, Tom Nook's not the bad guy.
Yeah.
Tom Nook's never been the bad guy.
Like, I'm sure most players would be super fine sleeping outdoors if they had the option, but, like, yeah, that's not great.
Yeah. His reaction to you don't have money is, okay, that's fine, just pay me back when you can, instead of, get out of this town.
Yeah.
Go sleep in a ditch. Like, Tom Nook is super chill.
It's just like, hey, you can sleep in my dumpster if you want. Is that good for you? Oh, man. Like, should we start talking about Digimon? I feel like we've, like, worn out Brave New Animal a bit.
I
Yeah.
don't usually get around to watching a new series, so when I do,
Yeah.
so yeah, so the episode starts and we see the Digimon Emperor,
So I'm gonna
which
make a prediction before we get into anything else.
go for it.
That's not Ken.
Mm,
I don't think that's actually Ken. I think they're like, making a construct from like his memory or something, you know?
okay. My theory.
Cause
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. Cause like it's possibly could have gone like repossessed or something, but like he doesn't like say a single line this episode. And that's the least Ken thing ever. Like when is the Digimon Emperor? He was like constantly talking and like, mocking the heroes, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I'm calling it now. That's not Ken. He doesn't act right.
there are weird things where Ken just kind of fades away, and so does Imperial Dramon.
Yeah.
But also, my theory is that it is Ken, and
Interesting.
yeah. So, but hear me out. It is Ken, but Izzy gets that email, and it says something like, "To gain power, you must embrace the darkness, but move past it," or some crap. Uh, so I think Ken is playing the villain to help the other Digidestined get more powerful.
Yeah. Do you think he like took another evil seed into his body or something?
I don't think so. I think he just put on the outfit and he's acting because once they beat Imperial German, and this is like at the end of the movie, so I'm jumping way ahead. But after they beat Imperial German, like they gain their mega forms and beat Imperial German, he lets Meikumon go and just leaves.
Yeah. Maybe. Like,
And
I
and
could
like
see
and
the
like
logic there.
and like when they win, he's not like frustrated. He smiles. He's like, okay.
Yeah. Like, that's the biggest weird thing, because it's like, Digimon Emperor Ken would never just, like, be like that after being bested, right? He'd be like, oh, like, I'll get you next time and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I think it's Ken, and I think he's just acting,
Yeah.
which is it's a very elaborate plan, but I don't know.
It's possible. Like, this series is going to some weird places already.
Yeah. Uh, Also, and we see Ogremon. And I think the implication is that Ogremon's smashing Digimon eggs.
I don't know if he is or not, because, like, they could have, like, hatched or something.
They could have, but don't the eggs just kind of disappear when the Digimon hatches?
Yeah, you're probably right. Ogremon's, like, probably killing babies.
To be fair, he's infected. He's not in his
Yeah.
right mind. Uh, because that was my first thought. Is like I know Ogremon's the bad guy, but he should know better than to trash the primary village.
Yeah.
And even and Alekmon, poor Alekmon can't stop him because they entrusted the like one of the most important areas of the digital world to a rookie.
Yeah, why we do that again?
I don't know.
Like,
There was-
should the, like, caretaker of the eggs be, like, a Sneemon or something?
I don't know. It should be something strong. Um,
Yeah,
so
like,
yeah, we
I
see
could-
Ogremon. Oh,
I-
sorry. Go ahead.
I could guarantee TK will have tried to screw with those babies if there's an effing Sneemon guarding the place.
Yeah.
Alright, sorry,
Sorry,
where are
yeah.
you going?
I was just say Ogremon's like about to attack Alekmon and like the egg he's guarding, which I think is already smashed anyways. And then Leomon just attacks him because yeah.
Yeah.
So Leomon and Ogremon are still fighting. And then we cut from that interesting scene to like I don't know, 30 to 40 minutes, a slice of life.
Yeah, so this is like, I don't know if you're like watching this as like a whole movie or in like parts or whatever.
I'm watching it as a whole thing because that's how the dub does it. I've been watching the dub.
Yeah, the sub for some reason like splits the movie into like 4 episodes apiece. Cause like that's how they handle the show, so I'm just watching like 4 episodes back to back.
Okay.
But yeah, like that entire like bathhouse like episode or whatever was the episode that made me give up on Try when I was watching it week to week.
So here's the thing about the bathhouse episode. I wouldn't mind it, except they showed something really interesting in the beginning, and then we don't talk about it for 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but the whole time all of the hijinks in the bathhouse are happening, I'm like, but what about Ken? And what about the raging Ogremon?
Yeah.
Which we occasionally see Ogremon break through to the human world, and he fights Mimi for a little bit, and oh wait, I think we see him even before that. Yeah, because
Yeah, he gets driven off by the like army guys with their weird data guns, and like Leomon grabs him and pulls him away, and that's the end of that episode.
yeah, so that's one of my favorite things is the idea that Leomon knows how to open those portals, and he's like, "Ha, found you!" and he just grabs Ogremon and drags him back home.
Yeah, because of course he would. Yeah.
And those guns in that encounter brings up a really baffling moment where Ty's teacher, I forget his name, but he's like, Ty's like, "Oh, you don't need us anymore?" And he's like, "Yeah, we got it covered," which is a lie because Leomon's the only reason that encounter ended the way it did.
Wait, is that how I handle the dub?
That's what he says. Ty's like, "Oh, you don't need us anymore, huh?" Like, because they like, "Oh yeah, we found a way to deal with the Digimon."
Yeah, the sub makes it more clear where he's like, "Oh yeah, he's like, we can take care of some of this stuff, but you guys need to be on standby or whatever."
He
He's
does
like,
tell them to be cautious.
yeah.
I'm not sure, but I think they're cheesing up the dub a bit.
I wouldn't
Like,
be I wouldn't be super surprised.
Yeah, like after the first one, which was fairly serious all the way through, and was like, "Oh, okay, they're not doing the stupid jokes constantly." I don't remember the specific dumb gags that happen in the
God.
part two, but they're not as bad as the original. But they're there.
This is not a good series to throw dumb gags in.
Like there's the part where they're all eating snacks in Izzy's office, and they won't stop doing this joke about eating the couch cushions.
Why would you do that?
It's like I don't even remember what it is. It's like they're eating a crap load of snacks, and then for some reason they bring up not eating the couch cushions, and then Gabumon is like, "Why?"
Yeah, like
they just keep talking. They just keep going back to that joke.
well, of course, it's like it's still Digimon. They have some like like dumb like weird gags and stuff, and some like cute moments or whatever. But like this is a very like this movie is trying to be like so dark and like angsty about things.
Yeah, poor Gomamon.
Like they're trying to like go in hard and be like, no, this is like the adult Digimon story because it's dark.
Yeah, there's this whole fight between Joe and Gomamon, and like after Joe storms out, you cut to Gomamon and it shows him like dropping the thing he was eating, and then you see teardrops hitting the ground, and it's like, oh.
Like everyone kind of feels out of character, but at the same time, it's like it doesn't not make sense, I guess I'd say, but it does feel very out of character. It's just very, like, just so heavy and, like, miserable for a lot of it.
Yeah, because Joe is most of the problem.
Yeah, it's like, this is the Joe and Mimi arc, basically.
Yeah, and the Mimi thing is kind of stupid.
So
Because the whole thing is about, it's like, oh, some stupid brats at the school come up to her and like accuse her of being all narcissistic for some reason.
yeah,
Which
sorry to cut you off. Before I get into this, do we want to get into the bathhouse episode a bit?
there's nothing to get into. They go to a spa and screw around for a while.
I was so frustrated watching this back because it's so much worse than I remembered. Where the girls break into the boys' like effing room or whatever, and there's like dudes washing their dicks, and there's running past just like, oh, we have to get the Digimon though. There's no other way.
It's a silly moment. I don't care. Like I said, the whole bathhouse episode, I wouldn't care. Maybe I'd care a little bit, but like they showed something really interesting and then just ignore it for a good hour.
I just wanted to touch on that, but before I really get into that, because that's a weird, annoying episode that I don't really like, but it's like probably the one like bright, like cheerful moment in this movie.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. So the narcissism thing.
So Mimi wants to open up Hooters, I mean Daters. It's like the class project.
Okay, so you think that's the parallel too? I was like, I think, is Mimi talking about Hooters?
Yeah, because she's like, oh yeah, Daters is huge in America, and see, they wear these cheerleader uniforms, and I'm like, I don't think this is a thing.
Yeah, so Mimi wants to open up a cafe for the school festival. Or they do a cafe every year, and Mimi volunteers to spice it up, basically. And so she and Mako are sitting at a table and trying to come up with designs or whatever. And Mimi just kind of draws like a stick figure, basically.
Yeah. I did just look up. Turns out Daters is not a thing, unsurprisingly.
Yeah, of course. So Mimi draws like a stick figure, and May is like, oh, you want it to look like the video you showed us, right? How about this? And then she draws like an outfit, and Mimi's like, oh, this looks great. And then she submits it to the class to use.
Man. May's totally gonna have to die or something, isn't she?
I don't want her to die, but
these episodes are going so hard on trying to make her likable and appealing,
Exactly. Mako and her Digimon are giving off real Poochie vibes.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm talking about.
Yeah. She'll have to go back to her home planet, aka the digital world.
Yeah. So before the other girls go after Mimi for whatever crazy reason, Ogremon shows up again. And Mimi, unwilling to wait for the rest of the group because, I mean, she's got to do something, right?
Yeah.
Or else Ogremon's just going to go do whatever. So I agree with Mimi on this point where she's like, okay, well, I have to try to stop him.
Yeah, this leads to, the big conflict of the movie, which is that, Togemon fights Ogremon. Mimi's like, oh yeah, we didn't show the press that there are good Digimon fighting off the bad ones. And
now
she,
use your attack that shoots needles in every direction.
An attack that has never before been, a problem to use in close quarters.
Yeah, so
there are scenes in Adventure where, Togemon's next to 2 other Digimon on, like, an effing cliffside narrow mountain road, and she's, like, using needle spray, and it's fine.
Yeah, Togemon can aim the needle spray. Togemon just decided not to in this instance.
Yeah,
so Togemon starts spinning and firing needles all over the place. It shoots down a helicopter.
just firing needles while spinning, like, upside down in the air, basically.
And yeah, it's like, oh, real good judgment there, Togemon.
Yeah.
Killing it. And this leads into the moment where Mimi's sitting at her desk and she's getting ready to, I don't know, go help with the costumes or something.
Before that, there's a moment I want to talk about. Where,
Okay,
like,
go for it.
yeah, like, they fought Pokemon, and, like, effing Togemon screws up, and then Leomon shows up and, like, saves the day, basically.
Yeah, again.
And, like, like, Mimi meets back up with the rest of the group, who, like, can't really get to the part of the park because it's, like, sectioned off. Because there are giant monsters fighting.
Yeah, and then they start getting onto Mimi and it's like, you shouldn't have acted alone and like all this crap.
Yeah, Izzy, like, snaps at her, and
yeah,
I think he specifically says, like, oh, you're, like, overly egotistical or something. He's like, you're overly selfish. And it's like, wow, that does not sound like Izzy at all.
Yeah, Izzy just kind of breaks character to snap at Mimi, and it's really weird.
Yeah. Like, Izzy's a good boy, He's, like, he's homeschooled, and he, like, he cares about his mom.
Is he homeschooled?
Wait, nah. No, he actually probably isn't. I don't know why I said that. But yeah, he's, like, a good, like, just, like, homely, just decent kid.
Yeah.
Like, Izzy, like, has gone people's nerves in the past, but it's never, like, intentionally. It's always because he's, like, socially unaware, right? This feels like... Yeah, this feels too malicious for him.
Yeah, Izzy's, oblivious, yeah.
Yeah. Like...
and that's what gets on people's nerves.
He's oblivious, but he's not, like, like, assertive or malicious about things. He's just very matter-of-fact.
Yeah. And of course, they tried to get Joe to show up to help, but Joe didn't show up because he's got to study.
And he has a girlfriend, don't forget.
Yeah, okay, well, as far as I'm concerned, we've never seen her, so she doesn't matter.
So apparently you never see Joe's girlfriend, and that plot point goes nowhere.
I think it's just meant to be a joke for the first part. So yeah, Joe's like got to study or whatever, so he doesn't show up, and so Matt like goes off on nobody in particular. He's just kind of yelling to the group that Joe didn't show up and what a coward, or I don't know what he says. I forgot.
Yeah.
But Matt's just kind of being Matt, and
yeah.
Ty's actually being kind of reasonable, where he's like, it's not that he didn't want to show up, it's that he couldn't, or whatever. I can't remember what his words are exactly, but...
Like, Sora's just in the background, Izzy's busy, like, shouting at Mimi, Ty's being depressed over but the city, though, and you cut over to Joe, who's like, all frustrated because, like, effing college exams and stuff, and he's, like, running away from his problems. And meanwhile, Mimi's, like, just being self-centered and not caring about what other people want or think. It's like, boy, isn't this just the wonderful journey you want after 15 years?
There is a lot of melodrama.
Just, boy... What a wonderful Digimon adventure this is.
So yeah, the news outlets have footage of Togemon shooting down a news helicopter now. And I guess in that footage they got Mimi in the shot too. So now girls at school are talking behind Mimi's back, and I appreciate that Mimi hears it, and she's like, she doesn't ignore it. She snaps at them, and she's like, "Don't talk behind my back."
Yeah, just if you have a problem with me, say it to my face.
Yeah, which I appreciate.
Just always being like overly sincere as ever.
Yeah. And then for the confusing part. So remember how I mentioned that Mako designed the outfit?
Yeah.
So the girls come up to Mimi, and it's like, "You really think we're gonna wear this? Like, what kind of narcissist are you?" And it's like, what?
Well, she designed it after, like, you know, the outfit from, like, the show, or, like, you know, sorry, not the show, the, like, thing on the TV, the, like, you know, American Daters.
But Mimi didn't design it. Mako did.
Yeah. That's true, but it's like Mimi's still, like, you know, the head planner who's, like, you know, like, the idea is that Mimi's kind of, like, you know, supposedly, like, force it on everyone without, like, hearing out their opinions, right? So everyone else just sort of went behind her back because they knew they couldn't reason with her. Or at least they didn't think they could.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I guess yeah, that makes more sense. Because my thought was like, there was like a weird translation thing where they think it looks like her outfit or something. I don't know. I was really.
Oh, that's weird.
I was really confused because I was like, "Whoa, what's narcissistic about her using a design that her friend created?"
Yeah, that's the thing, because, like, Mimi's entire arc doesn't quite, like, it doesn't fit together as well as it probably should. Because, like, every step of the way, she's like, "Oh, I want to do this for other people. I want, like, you know, like, I want to show the world that, like, our Digimon are good for my friends. I will, like, you know, make, like, a daters because it'd be fun for everyone else.
I'm gonna get these designs made. My friend designed it, and then my other friend is gonna make it."
Yeah, like, she's, you know, she sort of is, like, oblivious and, like, you know, putting herself forward and stuff. But at the same time, it's like, it's not like she's doing all this alone. Like, she has people helping her out.
Yeah.
It seems like her arc is that she just has to kind of realize that, and, like, realize that, you know, okay, like, it's fine if they're mad, like, I can do this on, like, with my friends or whatever. Like, I think that's what it's supposed to be.
It's confusing.
Yeah.
Like, the message might seem to be, like, you're not the center of the universe, but Mimi
Like-
learned that. Mimi learned this as a child.
Yeah, because, like,
Her arc in Adventure 1.
effing Joe, like, calls her out on this too, like, by the lake, while it's, like, effing raining, because of course it has to be more miserable.
Yeah,
and he's like, "No, just, like, you're not, like, the center of everything. Stop being so, like, you know, like, overly self-centered and stuff." He's like, "Yo,
Yeah.
like, maybe you are, like, yo, self-centered and annoying," and he's like, "But I'm a coward at least."
Yeah, so Joe's hang up is that I think his hang up is, to put it simply, he wants to live a normal life.
Yeah, well, Joe I can kind of understand, because it's like, oh, he's failing exams. And he's like, "Oh, but if I don't, like, do these exams right, then, you know, I'm going to get, like, screwed over in life." You know, he's like, "I need to get into the workplace and, like, get a good education. And I can't do that because cram school's not working."
Yeah, so I get Joe. I understand that on one hand, like, real life is a thing, and he doesn't want to fail at it.
Yeah. On the other hand, you have, like, you know, responsibilities to your friends too, and, like, you know, you can't keep running away from that. You have to find a balance.
Yeah, even if it's not something he necessarily wanted, it's what he is now.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, it's like Joe's big thing is, you know, he's like going around just like, "Oh, hey, like, well, first Goemon runs away before I get into this.
Yeah, Gomamon, who apparently is a pretty good cook.
Yeah.
um, which I thought was funny to see Joe's parents like sitting there watching TV while Gomamon is at the stove making ramen for them.
He
It's like,
doesn't
oh,
even have hands.
yeah, it's like, oh, that's neat. I like that we see a side of Gomamon that doesn't really matter, but it's like, oh yeah, Gomamon can cook. All right.
Yeah. I forget, was Goemon with Joe while he was on restaurant duty? I forget if that was a thing or not.
I can't remember.
Like back in Adventure where like Joe gets into debt and just gets wrapped up as like an effing like assistant at like Digitamamon's restaurant.
I think they might have been stuck there together, but I don't really remember.
I feel like it makes sense if that's where he picked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Goemon just, like, sees Joe just keep refusing to, like, actually fight and help the others out, and he's like, oh, Joe doesn't want to fight with me because he doesn't care about me, you know? He just wants to, like, be by himself and just deal with this depression. He's like, alright, he's like, so I'll just, I'll leave him alone then, and he just runs off.
Yeah, Gomamon getting the impression, like, as he says later, Joe never says he doesn't want him around, but he's acting like it.
Yeah.
So Gomamon's just like, well, I'll go hang out at Izzy's place then.
Like, Goemon's, like, so ready to go and, like, help the others, and Joe just keeps putting it off, and he's like, no, but I want to fight with you, though. And Joe's like, no, but, like, why do I have to do this?
Yeah. And during their fight later, Gomamon's like, do you think I like fighting?
Yeah.
This is basically what I meant to do. I have to do it.
Yeah, we have to, like, help our friends, because, like, they're actually in trouble, and get your crap together, Joe. Like, I know you're, like, flunking exams, and this is, like, a really crazy, stressful, insane time to be an adult. But, like, the Digimon Emperor might kill someone.
Well, they don't know about the whole Digimon Emperor thing yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, throughout these episodes, infuriatingly, we keep getting glimpses of the Digimon Emperor appearing and then vanishing and nothing happening with it.
Yeah. So everything sort of blah blah. So everything sort of like comes to a head as like, they get the school festival going and they're like, they set up daters and like Mimi and friggin' like Miko or Mako or whatever's the only ones in the costumes. Mako's like, I wanted to support you and stuff, and Mimi just tugs her and she's like, oh, that's great, and that's like the end of her arc.
Yeah. Also, everybody who is like, oh, we don't want to do your idea or whatever, like, they're getting awful uppity for a classroom full of people who didn't want to help at all.
Yeah.
Like, Mimi's the only one who volunteered to help with it.
Like, anyone else could have, like, taken over these duties, but nah, it was Mimi.
Yeah, the teacher was hoping somebody else would for some reason.
Well, I guess it's because it's Japan, so effing, like, those daters outfits, Well,
this is before Mimi mentioned the daters thing. She raised her hand, and the teacher's immediately like, anybody else? And I'm like, is it because she's American?
Yeah, now that you mention it, Japan does have, like, a weird racism thing.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Like, they're actually didn't consider that, but yeah, Japan actually does have, like, a thing where it's like, oh yeah, like, foreigners are kind of bad, and they're loud and obnoxious, and we hate them. And of course, like, it doesn't apply to everyone, just like any forms of racism, but it's like, it's definitely there where it's like, oh yeah, like, Americans are just, like, really handsy and annoying.
Yeah. Mimi's loud. Let's be honest, but
yeah,
It's just kind of.
I will, like, plug something real quick, and it's like there's a really good Gaijin Goomba video where it's like back when the Logan Paul stuff happened in Japan. You know,
He's
with,
talking
like,
about no Kizaru.
I think so. I don't know, like, if it's that specifically, but it's like, it's rolling around in, like, a rice hat and, like, just putting fish on people's cars and stuff. And,
Yeah.
like, Gaijin Goomba is such a good video of, like, just sort of talking about, like, the situation in Japan of, like, what race relations are like, and, like, how just destructive this is to, like, people's, like, perception of outsiders and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, there's probably was a lot of that actually going on this episode.
I'm pretty sure this happened before any of that. Like, specifically the Logan Paul thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Try was years before that, but still.
Yeah. Oh, not like Logan Paul specifically, but just like, these hints of, like, foreigner, like, racism,
Yeah.
But yeah, so like,
I can't blame them because there's a lot of stupid Americans that probably go to Japan and act like idiots.
yeah,
Don't consider the local. They can't read the room, and by room I mean country.
yeah, yeah. Like, even here, like, just holy crap. Put on your masks. Just put on an effing mask, please.
The Digimon say wear a mask.
Yeah, they literally do in this episode. Wear a mask or you might get infected with malware.
Yeah. Poor Agumon, I don't think the mask is doing much for him.
Yeah, well, he's making an attempt.
Yeah, at least he's trying, but I think he needs a wider mask.
Yeah. I do want to mention that, like, recently I found a random video of some guy ranting that makes, like, a really good point. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, like, you're such a, like, wimp that you can't even handle a piece of fabric on your face. Grow up. And it's like, yeah, you know what? If you refuse to wear a mask, you have a tiny penis. There you go.
Yeah. One of my favorite things is there's like a video of a medical worker taking off layers and layers of like masks and face shields and like all this stuff, and the subtitle something like, I have to wear this to work for several hours a day, you can't wear a mask for an hour.
Yeah, pretty good. Man. Also deodorant. Deodorant's also important. I think that's what they said. It's like mask, deodorant, sunscreen or something.
The Digimon?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going through all these. They're talking about preventing the digital infection that's causing Digimon to go out of control, and the Digimon are just kind of being silly. And it's like, oh yeah, bug spray, and there's like bug spray, face masks, suntan lotion, or whatever, sun lotion,
just in case the infection's spread by UV rays.
Yeah. Also, there's a little quip in the dub where somebody says bug spray, and I think Gabumon says bug spray bugs me.
Alright, yeah, that's dub only.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe the dub version of this would be slightly better.
I don't know, it's okay.
Yeah.
Nothing made me like, oh, this is unwatchable. And it's like it's not even as bad as the original series, but I noticed it more prominently. Also, I guess Lara Jill Miller, the voice actress for Kari, was just like, nah, I'm done after the first movie.
Oh my god.
Because she's not voicing her in 2. I kind of noticed it when she's sitting there talking to Ty in his room. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not her.
Huh. Yeah, that's super weird.
I guess she bailed out after the first movie.
Yeah. Oh boy. I wonder if she knew what was to come.
I don't know.
But yeah, like, I feel like that's one of the weaknesses so far, is that it's like, like, it's going really dark with things, and you have, like, you need that bit of, like, comic relief to make it work. But it's like, at least for me, just watching the sub, like, the Digimon aren't really doing that great of a job at, like, bringing, like, that relief from the situation,
Yeah, and the Digimon are really the ones you would want to see the comic relief from, because
Yeah.
they're
Like,
basically kids.
yeah, they're trying really hard with their antics, but, like, it didn't feel like a lot of them were really landing that well for me.
Yeah. Like rookies in the Japanese version are literally called child. Like that's what
Yeah.
that stage is called.
Which creates a really funny out of context, like, line. Where, like, they're just at the hot springs, and, like, they're like, oh yeah, is, like, Meikumon a child? And it's like, nah, she's an adult.
Yeah. So weirdly enough, Meikumon is not a rookie. Meikumon's a champion.
Yeah, which explains how she's able to do something really nutty later on.
Yeah, but it's also stupid and kind of out of nowhere, considering we never see her show any kind of battle prowess.
Yeah.
Also, at one point, Mako calls Meikumon a girl, and then later refers to her as a boy.
Yeah, well, Digimon, I guess.
It's just confusing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, you guys just didn't know what to refer to Meikumon. That's fine.
Yeah, like, things...
So back to the antics at the school festival, unless you had something else to say.
Yeah, I was gonna, like, go that direction too, like, things come to a head at the school festival.
I was gonna bring up a sillier moment.
Yeah, where it's like they're getting Leomon to take them.
Yeah, Leomon came to the human world and he's just hanging out in Izzy's office until, like, I don't know, Ogremon pops back up again or something. And like everybody's gone to the festival and they're like, we want to go, but we don't have anybody to take us. And then, oh, okay, so this is probably a dubism too, maybe. But Gabumon starts making a crapload of lion puns.
Yeah, that's a big dubism.
Okay, I can't remember what they were either because they're kind of funny.
I have to, like, watch the dub version just for that.
Or maybe not Gabumon, it might have been Tentamon, because Tentamon does a lot of weird, like, goofing around moments.
Yeah. I remember, is it the scene where they're all, like, climbing on Leomon?
Not even, it was before that. Like, throughout the episode, Tentamon's joking a lot. Like, Gomamon shows up and he at Izzy's office. And he's like, "Is it okay if is it cool if I stay here or whatever?" And Tentamon says something like, "No sweat," and I can't even sweat.
Yeah, that's a big dubism.
And then he sees the picture that Himikawa sends to Izzy of Mimi and her dater's outfit. And Tentamon says something like, "I think I've learned how to sweat," when he sees the picture.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Tentamon, why do you care?
I think we should probably, like, address that for a moment. It's like, oh yeah, like, effing, what's her name? I forgot what the office lady's name is, the, like, suit lady. Himikawa?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. She's just like, like, guys like, whatever his name is, the teacher was like, oh yeah, like, I can't get Izzy over here, but I kind of want to make sure, like, everyone's safe or whatever. And she's like, alright, I got this. And he just sends him a message, a little, like, oh yeah, like, important, like, message. And as he just opens up, it's just a photo of Mimi in her, like, dater's outfit. And he's just like, alright, I have to go there right away.
Yeah. Izzy's like, I gotta go.
He's like, oh, I can't miss this crap.
And the outfit's not nearly as risque as you would think it is. It's like short shorts and like a sleeveless shirt.
Yeah.
But for Japan, I guess that's really risque because Mako is freaking out about wearing a shirt with no sleeves.
Like, Izzy just comes in and he's like, "Ooh."
There is a scene earlier where Mako and Mimi are like shopping for clothes or whatever.
Yeah.
And Mimi pulls up a skirt that wouldn't cover anything. And Mako's like, that's way too short. And Mimi's like, that's the fun of it. And it's like, Mimi, what in the world?
Yeah, Mimi's, yo. It's one of those weird things, because, like, we're from America, and things aren't that nuts. But it's like, from Japan's point of view, it's like, oh yeah, Mimi's, like, from America, therefore she's, like, sexualized as crap, and she's into all the lewd.
Yeah. But I mean, even for American standards, like, the skirt that Mimi has, like, Mako calls it like a handkerchief or something. Like,
Yeah.
it literally covers nothing. And it's like, holy crap, Mimi.
Yeah, so... It's like... Yeah, effing Leomon takes the Digimon to the school.
Oh, real quick, they just kind of reminded me of something that's a little bit of a point in favor of the spa episode, and it's that it's not nearly as sexualized as you might think.
Yeah, it's more towards the male staff than anything else.
Yeah, we see like Matt and Ty in nothing but a towel, and the girls are wearing like full on robes most of the time, if not the entire time.
Yeah, like, I mentioned this before, I want to restate it, like, when the girls bust into, like, the boys' bath, like, dudes are, like, actually, like, washing their dicks, like, you see, like, there's just suds covering the crotch area, and there's, like, nothing else.
Yeah, it is weird. It's, but it does make sense that Mimi's the one who's leading the charge, because she don't give a crap.
Oh, man.
And then you get a weird scene where Ty realizes that his sister is in there, and he's like, "What are you doing in here?"
Maybe this is why Kari's voice actress didn't come back. Just like, no, I don't want Joe Oni-san at this. This is too far.
So yeah, the Digimon are like begging Leomon to take them to the school festival, and Mekumon is like,
yeah, they're crawling all over him.
Yeah, he doesn't care about the other ones, but then Mekumon is like, pretty please, and like, I guess it melts his heart, and he's like, all right, I'll do it.
I'm not sure if, like, take from this what you will. In the sub, she says senpai.
Okay, that's funny. That's way funnier than her just going pretty please. Because it implies that, like, Leomon might have some kind of complex about being called senpai.
Yeah, maybe.
That's funny. And then cut to whatever stuff happening, and then Leomon in like a disguise, but he's gigantic, so I wouldn't say it works very well.
Yeah, to be fair, like, Skullbearmon walked around in a trench coat and no one noticed.
True. And then they get to the school, and Leomon's just like, all right, everybody has to play dead, play stuffed animals, so nobody notices.
So of course everyone just runs off.
Well, they start act as like, oh, can I use my nose muscles to move or whatever, like, because Agumon wants to smell food or whatever. I don't know what all's happening. And then I'm assuming Mekumon calls him senpai again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he's like, okay, fine, go, and he just lets him go.
They'll just run off, and it's like, oh man, this is a disaster.
Yeah. So a bunch of silly stuff happens, and then the Digimons hear of a costume contest for cute / like creepy costumes or whatever.
Yeah, which is like it works so much better in like Japanese because it's like, oh yeah, kawaii or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
cute slash scary.
Okay, kawaii. Um, and so there's kind of a funny moment where the Digimon are like, it's like, oh, we can enter that and win a bunch of food, but where are we gonna find costumes? And then they think for a second, and they're like, wait a minute.
Yeah. No one will notice I'm an actual giant bug monster.
Yeah. So they enter the contest, and it's like Gomamon is standing on Palmon's shoulders,
Because of
and like
course he is.
yeah, and I think the others just enter as themselves.
Yeah, because everyone just assumes they're like weird kids.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, Gomamon wouldn't work because he doesn't remotely look like he could be a little kid in a costume.
Yeah.
Because he's like a sea lion
Oh man.
or a seal or whatever. And Meikumon shows up like not dressed up as anything or whatever, and it's like, oh, look how cute Meikumon is. Look at it.
Yeah, she won the costume contest.
Yeah. So, oh wow, and she won the costume contest because everybody loves Meikumon.
What's my mind? I do want to like go back a little bit to like daters.
Well, real quick, it ties into the Meikumon winning the contest.
Yeah.
And it's the kids learn that the Digimon are running around the festival, and they're like, oh, we gotta go get them. And they show up just in time to hear that Meikumon wins. And Matt doesn't care about getting them out of the vision of everyone else. He's upset that Gabumon lost, which I thought was hilarious.
Oh man. Yeah, like hard cut to daters where Mimi's like, oh yeah, it's time for the like hourly daters dance. And it's a bunch of like super obvious stills where they just move the camera around really dramatically.
Yeah, that scene's not great.
It's like, wow, this is some next level animation. There's so many frames I can't even count them.
Yeah, I guess that's worth mentioning. Is that like the idea behind daters is that it's like cheerleader themed.
Yeah.
And so they cheer every now and then or something. I don't know. Mako hates it.
Yeah, she's like super shy. And it's like, oh yeah, Mako has like so many fans though because they love the shy act.
Yeah, she's moe as heck.
Damn it. That's totally what this is.
That's what it is. She's like Mako is several moe tropes wrapped into one character.
Oh god.
And you know what? I think Tri came out at around the same time as like when like moe shows were coming out left and right.
Yeah. It's like,
Hey,
is it 2016? I think it's 2016 or something.
yeah, it's about that time, I think.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, so we Gomamon learns Joe learns that Gomamon is at the school festival because Gomamon left and he's been looking for him. And they do the scene on the rooftop like I mentioned where they have the fight.
Yeah. And like, I want to throw out something right here while this is like, going on, like we're getting into it. Cause like, what's her name? Like Himikawa?
Yes.
Yeah, she like, throughout this like movie, she's like very much like, there's some key scenes where she's like, specifically like searching for Meikumon or like, just paying close attention to them.
Yeah, there's a scene where Meikumon wanders out of the restaurant and you see like hands reaching out of the shadow all ominously, and it's Himikawa, and she picks up Meikumon and it's like, let's go get some food or whatever. And I'm immediately I'm immediately suspicious because I'm like, oh, well, crap, she's gonna take Meikumon and get her isolated. What's happening?
Is Himikawa Meikumon's old trainer?
Huh?
Like, this is where my mind's going, right? Because, like, Himikawa seems like, she seems especially sort of like, all about Meikumon for whatever reason. And she's like, oh, she's getting her isolated, and she's like, like, oh yeah, like, I'll get you food and stuff, and, she seems very attentive to this Digimon, like, very specifically. Yeah. I'm sitting here, it's like, okay, was Meikumon originally her Digimon, and she either lost the Digivice or, like, grew up, and it, like, shifted ownership to, like, Mako, right?
I don't know, I'm not sure how that works. I just kind of thought that she was in league with the villains or something.
Yeah,
and then she leaves Meikumon, and it's like, oh, she left her here to get captured or something. Yeah. But then it cuts to Himikawa actually getting food for both herself and Meikumon, and it's like, maybe not.
So here's what I'm thinking. I think Himikawa's are like Meikumon's old trainer, or she's like, just obsessed with this Digimon, and she's like, no, Meikumon should be my partner. And I think the big thing is gonna be, it's like the guy with her, like, I think he's Iwata or something. That's probably like way off, but it's like, yeah, the like teacher guy, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Tachikawa, I think. Yeah, Tachikawa sounds right. I think he's either the Digimon Emperor, or, like, he's the one, like, behind that, right?
Do we see him and Digimon Emperor in the same room?
We see, like, them back and forth, but never at the same time. But it's like he could be, like, using, like, Digimon crap to, like, switch outfits, like the 02 kids, right?
No, wait, we do.
We do?
Yeah, well, not at the same exact time, but within such a short window that it couldn't possibly be him.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because, like, when Davis and, like, the R's go into the computer, they, like, change clothes. So maybe, like, he goes through a portal and he gets the Digimon Emperor outfit and, comes out with it, and he, like, goes back and, he can, like, change back to how he was before.
Well, no. The window I'm talking about is she sees the Digimon Emperor in the distance while the teacher is standing right next to her.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, fair enough.
There's literally no time or ability unless it's a hologram.
But yeah, like, I'm thinking that it's like, alright, maybe he's the one responsible for this somehow, right? Like, I'm still calling that, like, he's gonna be a big bad guy. Like, he's gonna be the most evil mother effer ever. Like, I can feel it.
Nishijima,
okay, yeah. I'll try and remember that. I'm bad with names, but I'll do my best.
That's his last name. You could call him Daigo if you want. That's his first name.
I'd rather not call him Daigo. Not right now.
Oh, was Daigo one of the bad ones?
I actually don't know. I'm just assuming maybe. Well, wait, no, Daigo's Street Fighter, isn't he?
Yeah.
Alright, he's probably good then. Yeah, sorry, Daigo, you're, like, unless this is accurate, sorry, you're probably alright.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, we cut to Meikumon getting grabbed by the Digimon Emperor.
Yeah, who just shows up on his own in, like, a really sick, like, coat. Like, this Digimon Emperor redesign is, like, on point, honestly. I dig it.
Yeah, he's upgraded his outfit, which is cool.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it's another thing, because he doesn't look like, he's the same age as the kids. He looks like he's adult-sized.
Well, it's been a few years. The 02 kids have grown up as well.
Yeah, but they'd still be, like, the same age as, like, TK or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like he might be bigger than that, but it's kind of hard to tell because it's like, at that time where it's like not that much of a difference.
Well, you never see them close to each other, so you can't really tell height differences anyways.
It at least feels like he's bigger.
But yeah.
Yeah, Digimon Emperor grabs Meikumon.
And just slides into a portal.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the only ones who can just come in to stop him are like Gomamon and like effing Palmon. And everyone else gets locked out as like the Digimon Emperor just summons Imperial Dramon.
Which implies that if it is Ken just acting, that means Davis has got to be somewhere nearby. I guess hiding?
Yeah. Like,
either
they're just controlling Imperial Dramon through some other means, or Davis would have to be in on it.
Yeah. Also, I think Imperial Dramon is the wrong color.
Yeah, like his tail is like weird.
It's like Imperial Dramon is like very purple.
Yeah. Like, I watched this late at night, so like the colors were screwed up on my computer and like it's a whole thing. But it's like he seemed like he was like dark Imperial Dramon or something. If that's even a thing.
Well, I'm looking at a picture of Imperial Dramon on the wiki, and yeah, he definitely looked different. But
yeah.
Cat. Yeah, there's definitely like more purple hues to this other Imperial Dramon.
I really have to like rewatch that scene because I meant to, but then my oven caught on fire, so
yeah,
there wasn't much time for that.
So yeah, they're all fighting, and like at first the portal only blocks the kids, but then the other Digimon show up and try to jump in, and they can't.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's like, okay, like Joe needs to like, get his crap together and actually like come help out his partner. 'Cause like Mimi's trying, but it's not enough. Like Togemon can't do this on his own.
Yeah. Although, weirdly enough, Togemon is making Imperial Dramon flinch at all, which is bullcrap.
Yeah, like they should be dead so early on this fight, but screw it, plot.
Yeah, these champions are smacking, or this champion is smacking around this mega that's also a fusion. Which is nuts. It isn't doing any damage, but the fact that like Imperial Dramon's flinching at all is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, Mimi goes to like get Joe, who's just like
Not Mimi. It's Kari.
Right, yeah. Because Mimi's at the computer, right, I forgot.
Yeah. Also, before that, Tai is like, can't you get the Digimon into, can't you hack them in or something? And Izzy's like, no, I can't. I don't have a connection to it or whatever. But he pulls up the fight on his computer so they can watch it.
Yeah, that's really the best he can do.
Well, why can he get a view on the fight but not send the Digimon to it? Because they can go into the computer. Why not just use it as a gate when he can clearly connect to it?
So I feel like the answer is that like the sub-dialogue is slightly different. Because if I remember right, like the phrasing was like, oh yeah, can't you open the gate? And he's like, no, I can't, but like I can do this.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, Kari goes to get Joe because Joe's being a big old stinker.
And you just look over, it's like Joe's bike chain came undone because of course it did.
Which is fine, because it kept him from leaving long enough for Kari to run up to him and be like, hey, Gomamon needs your help. Gomamon's about to eat crap.
Joe's entire life in this movie is just one misfortune after another. So yeah, like, Joe just shows up, and he's like, he gets his crap together, he's like, yeah, like, my friends do need me, it's like, he's like, first he's like, hey, like, but, like, why do I have to go? Like, why are we chosen? Like, Kari's like, well, did you like, question why Gomamon was chosen to be your partner? Like, there's no reason, and he needs you right now. Like, you need to, like, man up and do this. And Joe's like, right, no more running away. He goes out there, and he's not like, he doesn't even say that much. He's just like, alright, Gomamon, I'm here. And he's like, do it. And Gomamon's like, oh, heck yeah. And like,
starts Digivolving.
which is the first time it comes a Kakumon in the series, I believe.
Yeah,
and, like,
because Joe and Mimi showed up late for the first encounter, so they didn't get there. This part 2 is the first time we get Togemon, I think.
I think Togemon is in part 1 at some point, but I forget where.
Yeah. Probably when they're trying to fight Alphamon.
Yeah. But yeah, like, turns into a Kakumon. It's like, it's still the bad champion CG, but whatever. He just shows up, he's like firing missiles, and it's like not doing much, and he like digivolves again. It's like, you get like actual, like, 2D animation for like Zudomon's evolution, and it looks fantastic.
I like that when the evolution the ultimate starts, like it starts up like the evolution of the champion, but then the Digivice, it glows and pulses.
Yeah.
And it gives it more of a, oh man, we're going big.
Yeah, and Zomon just goes away, like, hammers Imperial Dramon on the face. And he's like, make it work. And it's like, you see the Digivice again. It just happens.
Further beyond.
Yeah, he just turns into Vikingmon just out of nowhere. And it's great. Yeah, and it's like, that feels so deserved right now.
Yeah, for all of the problems I have with this one, I was getting hyped for this because it was legit cool.
Yeah, just because Vikingmon like shields off of his attacks with his shoulder shield and like blasts him with the like freaking mace on his back like a missile.
Yeah.
It's like timed in such a way that it's like a set like part where like a chorus starts up for Braveheart or something. I forget exactly what it was, but it's like something like that, like it's on the drop.
Yeah.
It's like cuts to Izzy, he's like, wait, what the crap did it go like ultimate? Which is like mega, because yeah.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, did it go mega? And Joe's like, he's like, like, of course, he's like, because he has to, he's like, we have to end this. And you see, like,
go ahead.
Yeah, you see, like, Togemon just evolves to its Nas impressive feeling, because Joe just did, but screw it, this is Joe's arc, damn it.
It's still cool.
It's still good. It's still good.
Mimi's like, yeah, I gotta get my crap together too. And then the animation for the evolution of the Lilymon is really good. I like it.
Yeah. And like they just like shoot off the flower can, because of course, and they just go further beyond, and they become Rosemon. And the animation on like effing Rosemon's evolution is friggin' ridiculous.
Hardcore jiggle physics.
Yeah, they are just like hard bouncing. Like there's no stopping it. It's like, alright, you know what? This is way more in line with Mimi's new personality. So yeah, it's like they both go mega at like the same time, and they just start wrecking Imperial Dramon, just him with like all their crap, and it's great. This is exactly what I wanted the Alphamon fight to be like, where like, Matt and like Ty are like going through all their stages, right?
Yeah. Oh, I think oh my god, what was I saying?
Yeah, it's fine. Take your time. All right.
There's a part earlier where Matt confronts Ty, and he's like, "Why did the Omnimon fusion fail?"
Right. Yeah, that was a thing.
And I think that's what Omnimon starting to glow was supposed to be.
Yeah, so, like, good catch on that, because I thought it was just, like, him, like, powering down or something because he used too much energy.
Yeah. No, yeah, because, yeah, Matt stops Ty and he confronts him about that.
Yeah. It's
And
like
I was like,
Ty's,
that,
like, determination wasn't good enough, so it didn't hold together.
yeah. Which, sure, okay, but ultimately it didn't matter because Alphamon jumped through the portal anyways.
Yeah, so there's no reason for Matt to be such a shit about it.
Yeah. Uh, I, Ty is still brooding and doesn't want to fight, and it's annoying.
Yeah. So I thought I mentioned on the Discord, like, I think I'm starting to see why this series is divisive outside of, like, later stuff.
Is it because Ty won't stop moping?
Yeah. Well, that wasn't what I was thinking of. That wasn't what I got spoiled on.
No.
So that's not the thing that I, like, heard. But it's, like, at the same time, it's like, yeah, this, like, especially if you're watching this week to week, this show is a huge downer. And, like, I completely get, because, like, if you're watching it as a movie, this is all, like, like, emotional, like, build up for the climax, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's also when they get better, they have this big, crazy hero moment, and it feels like, even, like, more hype. Like, it's all for that, but at the same time, it's like, like, people grew up with this, like, when it was the wacky, crazy, like, show about, like, oh yeah, we're gonna, like, go and, like, investigate the noodle shop and find the soup stone. And, like, effing Arcanemon's just gonna throw a rock at Mummymon to make him sink harder. Like, this is a huge tonal shift, even by, like, like, darker, like, Myosmon arc standards.
Yeah. So I think the idea is that, like, I think the idea is Tri is meant for the kids who grew up and were now teenagers or young adults by the time
Yeah.
starting to come out.
It's trying to
And
be, like, a darker and older story, and, like, I don't think it's doing, like, a great job at it, but, like, by the end, I kind of, like, turned around on this movie. I think this, like, worked really well.
yeah, I mean, ultimately, I'm just kind of frustrated that the kids are fighting each other so much.
Yeah.
It's like, did we not learn how to get along in adventure? Like, what is happening?
Yeah, that's the thing, because, like, it feels like super out of character, because it is. But it's, like, also, like, I don't really like to see, like, the characters I grew up with be this, like, unlikable.
Yeah, why y'all hate each other so much? What happened?
Like, they're trying to push the whole dark thing at, like, the expense of the characters, and I feel like that's gonna, like, cost them later on. Because I imagine things are only gonna, like, ramp up from here.
Yeah,
Like, I imagine, like, next week we're probably gonna get, like, Sora and, like, effing, like, Izzy or whatever, and then, like, Kari and TK. And,
yeah, it seems to be building up to them getting their megas or something.
yeah, I have no idea what the heck that's gonna be about. That's gonna be, like, crazy. But yeah, like, if they do it like that, that's only, like, what, like, 4 of the 6 movies? And it's like, alright, where does it go after that, though?
Maybe we'll find out what the actual villain is.
Yeah.
By the way, something I forgot, but we see Hackmon a lot.
Yeah,
Or
just
at
sort
least-
of off in the distance.
Yeah, he seems to be observing and nothing more.
Yeah.
He hasn't said anything. He hasn't interacted with anybody. I think Leomon knows that he's around or can sense his presence, but otherwise nobody acknowledges him or sees him.
Yeah, he's just sort of there. But yeah, like, they beat Imperial Dramon.
Yeah, and the Digimon Emperor just floats down and lets go of Meikumon and disappears.
Yeah. Just hard cut to the real world where everyone's back and safe, and it's like, oh yeah, we did, oh, this is great.
Everything's fantastic, and for some reason Meikumon, when prompted to go back to Mako, is like burying herself in Leomon's arms, like afraid of her. It's weird.
Right, yeah, I forgot, because, like, yeah, Leomon started to, like, get infected in the other world.
That happens about the time the portal opens up, and
yeah, Leomon's, like, in there, and he's like, oh, I'll save you, Meikumon, and he gets infected, he starts, like, going crazy.
Yeah.
And, like, he gets better, but, like, Meikumon's flashing to, like, Leomon while he's infected, and she just freaks out and, like, stabs him through the chest and, like, floats off.
Yeah. I don't know if you caught it, but when that happens, it cuts to everybody looking shocked, and it shows Himikawa in the corner, and she smiles.
Yeah, oh, I caught that super hard.
It almost went by me, but I kind of caught it out of the corner of my eye, and I rewinded, and I'm like, what? What?
Yeah, you also see, like, a bit where it's, like, you see, like, Mako's Digivice, like, in her pocket or whatever, and it seems like it's glowing a bit, and there's, like, a red X, like, chain signal over, like, the front of it. And it's like, oh, okay, Meikumon's probably the source of the virus.
I think in the dub, I believe that Himikawa is like having like inner thoughts or whatever, and she literally says that Meikumon is creating the virus.
Okay, the sub didn't have that.
Okay.
But yeah, like, that seemed kind of, like, obvious.
It's like, oh, Meikumon's the cause of this.
Wait, I don't know, maybe the sub did mention it slightly, I don't know. I can't, like, remember exactly. Like, I think it was more them speculating than anything else, really.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I can't read Himikawa at all.
And, like, Leomon effing dies again. He doesn't even last till the end of the movie.
Yeah. Even good guy Leomon, even stabbed through the chest, he's like reassuring Meikumon that everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. Holy crap.
And then he dies. And it's like,
What a downer ending.
I was in absolute disbelief. I wasn't too shocked. In fact, I was kind of laughing about it because of how stupid, like, predictable it was. But I was like I said at the beginning of the podcast, can you subvert my expectations a little bit? Like, my thought at the beginning of the episode when I first saw Leomon is like, there's Leomon, he's gonna die, like, jokingly, and then he dies in the end.
So,
and I'm like, why?
I don't know if it's gonna be subverted in the moment, but I do know your expectations from now at least are probably going to be subverted at least once. There's probably going to be at least one thing, because I do know at least one thing. And I'm not gonna say much more than that, but holy crap. So, apparently movie 3, yeah, I think it was 3 is what I heard, is where stuff gets crazy. So, boy, is that gonna be nuts. If we're not there yet, then jeez. So, like, would you say this is, like, a good movie?
I don't hate it. I think the pacing sucks because, like I said, they show off the Digimon Emperor at the very beginning and then cut away from it for way too long.
Yeah. I feel like I can't come out of this liking it. This is a way better movie than it is an effing show.
Yeah.
Yeah, holy crap. Like, all the, like, action and, like, well, I guess not all the action technically, but yeah, like, all the, like, big, like, like, build-up and the big fight and all this stuff is crammed into, like, the last 20 minutes or so. Like, not that, like, the last 10 minutes, I'll say.
Yeah, and, like, it's not like I need constant action to stay invested, and I think that's part of this is for a more mature audience.
Yeah.
because they don't need flashing colors the whole time to entertain them.
This is
but-
like, I like Gundam, but like, I would not watch Gundam week to week, because holy crap, that show moves at like a snail's pace. And this is like the exact same problem.
Yeah. I don't even necessarily hate slice of life stuff. I just kind of hate it when you show off something more interesting.
Like,
And that,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know what's going on.
Like, I was sitting here, it's like, alright, like, you have an episode of, like, this is like 2 months into the show's run, basically, if you're watching it week to week. So it's like, you have to get through, like, oh yeah, like, the big reunion episode that goes nowhere. And, like, oh, the episode where, like, the Digidestined go to the airport and their Digimon get beat up by Kawagamon, and, they come back and nothing happens, and they, like, go to fight Alphamon, and ties a huge, like, shit. And it doesn't look great. And you have to get through, like, the hot spring episode, and, like, effing, like, all this, like, just drama crap, and this is all, like, week to week to week. Where it's like, oh yeah, like, I guess I'll also wait a week to see if Joe gets his crap together, and then there's 2 more episodes of him not getting his crap together.
Yeah.
Like, I have, like, so much sympathy for people who watched this as it was coming out, because holy shit. This would be, like, such a bad experience. And it's like, you finally get to, like, the big climax, and it's bookended with Leomon dying and everyone being sad. Oh, man. Like, I really hope the, like, movies following this can, like, handle things well and, like, skirt that line, because it feels like they're barely skirting it right now, Like,
Yeah.
they're barely on that line between, like, like, being just too oppressively dark and, like, edgy and, like, actually being, like, enjoyable.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if they lightened up a little bit. I get that the plot is serious.
Yeah.
Especially with, like, the first movie starts with seemingly the 02 kids, like, just getting murdered off screen, which is kind of a tone setter, but also, like, calm down.
Yeah. We don't need Joe's, like, crying about, like, how he's run out of financial aid and, like, a rainy, like, effing riverbank is, like, Sora just watches on from a distance crying. Like, we don't need, like, a scene of, like, effing, like, Mimi just, just, like, about to give birth, and she's like, oh, the pregnancy didn't take, and everyone's just looking super sad, right? Like, there's, like, a limit to, like, how far I feel like you can go with, like, a series just rooted in, like, goofy, upbeat, like, happy monster adventures. Just looking forward to, like, he starts raising a child, and he's like, oh no, he has a mental disability, and he starts yelling at Matt over it or something, and it's like, that's what this kind of feels like, right? Like, it's taking Digimon's trying to take it to this dark place that's, like, it's just right on that line of parody. It's like, oh no, Joe's going to, like, fail through school, and, like, oh, everyone, like, is against him, and, like, his Digimon abandons him, and he's just crying in the rain. It's like Mimi's being teased by the, like, yeah, sorry, what?
Crying into his ramen.
Just crying into his, like, egg ramen, because, like, Gomamon's left him. It's like, holy crap. it's like it feels like they're twisting the characters hard to get to the moment they want to get to. And like, yeah, that's gonna, like, that's going to be very hit or miss, like, in the next few films, I feel like.
Yeah. So as much as I want to see the series be good, I'm also interested in seeing what caused such a stir with this series.
Yeah, like, what was, like, the talk like to, like, get us to this,
Well,
Like,
it's like you said, things go stupid or whatever in part 3. So I want to see what that is.
I wonder if that's when the spoiler I heard about will be revealed, because, like, I feel like that's about the time for it. Like, it feels like we're due for an escalation.
Well, we probably won't get whatever it is. Probably won't happen until much later because we still got to get everybody's mega forms.
I have a feeling.
And unless the spoiler can exist within that time.
I have a feeling it can exist in that time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, this is gonna be like, like a big, like, random beat that they just throw in the middle of the movie or something. Just like, I just get that weird, like, vibe from this. So, like, do we want to do last minute predictions and stuff?
I'm going to say Nishijima isn't evil, but Himikawa is.
Man, this is gonna be interesting because I'm saying I'm kind of saying the opposite. Well, I guess not really, but it's like I would say like Himikawa has like intentions about Meikumon, but like Nichiji was the evil one, and she's probably gonna be like along for the ride because Meikumon though.
Yeah.
Any predictions about like Ken? Well, I guess we've already kind of like
Yeah, just what I said at the beginning. I think he's playing the villain because there's I think the 02 kids are okay, but I think they were defeated by whatever the big bad is, and for some reason they can't communicate with the other kids. So they're like, okay, well we got to toughen up the original kids because they don't even have megas.
Yeah. Like, like this, there ain't else specifically, because we know Meikumon's like the one behind the virus, so Alphamon's probably a good guy, pretty confirmed.
Yeah, that's my prediction. And by extension, Hackmon is probably a good guy, but I kind of, what makes me really think that is that they're trying really hard to make Hackmon look really, like, sketchy.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, Hackmon's a good guy.
Do we have any predictions that are just, like, super out there at the moment?
I could make something up.
Yeah, just, like, really anything that's like, it could happen, but it's like, there's nothing that would, like, suggest it, just in case we happen to get right on something.
Devimon came back, and it's his fault.
That's actually a pretty good one. I think, like, I'm tempted to be like, oh yeah, like, well, I guess it'd be easy to be like, oh, like, evil seeds never get mentioned again or whatever. Like, that'd probably be fairly safe, actually, as, like, a non-thing.
Wait, Oikawa died to protect the digital world.
Yeah.
Aw, man.
And then this happens.
Yeah, what's it been, like, a year? 2? Digital world can't stay safe for a couple of years. Holy crap.
Oh, no.
I'm starting to think the digital world is screwed. Because if it's not the current events, something's gonna kill it.
Like, maybe everyone just trying to restart the protection is what's causing the problem, right? Because, like, before the, like, our Digidestin, things turned out okay. Yeah, maybe the Dark Master problem will have, like, fizzled out over time or something. Yeah. Maybe, like, reviving a Zulongmon maybe wasn't the best idea. You know what, like... I will make a hard out there prediction.
Okay.
Actually, this might not be Satsuki. It's like, alright, I want to predict, like, one of the Digidestined is going to die.
Oh, man. That'd be wild.
It's like, it's not gonna be Tarmav, of course. Like, most likely one's probably Mako. Like, she'd be, like, the easiest, I think.
I haven't seen Mako. Well, okay, I was gonna say I haven't seen Mako in any of the trailers for Last Evolution, but I also haven't been paying attention to anything from that, so...
Like, either Mako or Digimon are gonna die for sure, I think. I'm gonna be like, okay, Izzy, Joe, or, like, Sora are going to eat it. Because it can't be any of the main characters or anyone who's, like, especially popular. So it's like, one of those three. Done.
Like, you know what? I'm gonna go sort of in that direction. I don't think any of the kids are gonna die, but I think one of their partners will.
Oh, I can see that. Oh, that's good. That's good. Because, like, Digimon can come back, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of tragic, but not as tragic as one of the kids dying.
Oh, man.
Like,
Agumon dies and Gabumon takes lead.
That would be, like, yeah, I could see that. Tai's indecisiveness and moping around gets Agumon killed. Like, what would be, like, that would be the most tragic version without killing a kid is like the main character's Digimon.
That would be hilariously dark.
It's like, oh, Agumon, no.
No.
We've seen one of the kids' partners die before, but it was Ken. He wasn't actually part of the team yet.
Jesus, what if, like, Patamon died again?
Oh, right, Patamon. Oh, yeah. I forgot. It's happened before, but back then, Patamon and TK were basically side characters.
Yeah, like, he goes... well, of course, like, TK's gonna get his Mega, because, like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He goes Serafimon and, like, effing, like, I don't know, like, Dark Imperial Jamon or, like, friggin' Alphamon or something just stabs him through the chest. And it's like, oh no, Patamon, and TK freaks out and loses it.
Yeah. I still don't think Alphamon's the bad guy, especially now that we have this this thing where it's like, oh yeah, Meikummon's creating the virus.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, Alphamon was targeting Meikumon because Meikummon's the problem.
Yeah. You know, I guess this is another prediction, but I could see a situation where, like, you know, like, the kids still don't really, like, understand what's going on. And they're just like, no, but, like, we have to protect Mako from Alphamon because he still thinks she's the problem. And Alphamon just, like, stabs one of their Megas through the chest because, like, the kids are a threat now.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
Yeah, the Royal Knights... to my limited exposure to them, yeah, they can be the good guys or the bad guys.
Do we want to make predictions on whether or not Davis is dead?
I think all the 02 kids are fine. I think that the little bit in the first movie was just to build up tension, and it's like, oh, what happened?
Yeah. It would be insane if they were just killed off that unceremoniously, but, like, I could see it.
Yeah, I don't think they would do that.
Alright, so we have anything else?
Nah.
Alright, this was a lot of fun, honestly.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll see you guys around next time. Later!
Later.